Howdy! Today I thought I'd discuss a bit about the process in work that I did in 2010, where my family's farm, where there was a new business venture started there. This is the farm, Smultronboda, which translates into wild strawberry meadow, sort of. And it's a sheep farm, so there are lots of these around. And it's owned by my dad and his sisters. This is my dad, and these are my aunts. And it's currently run since the late 90s by my aunt Eva-Lis and her husband Christer. In March 2010 we renovated the upstairs of the main building of the farm into a rental apartment. And I helped out with communications and bookings. So I needed to create web, posters, do some PR and such. But before I could do that, of course, I needed to understand rural tourism and farm tourism. And my sister Åsa is actually a sociologist and specializes in tourism. So I asked her to participate. This is Åsa. She's not always pregnant, but she's been twice. So in order to understand tourism and these specific issues surrounding rural tourism, we used various materials from that we found on the public web. For example, there is an organization called Bo på Lantgård, Farmstead Living, that organizes various apartment owners and such in rural areas, so they can register there and then cooperate. And so they had various info about how organizations could market and communicate their various offerings. We also looked at research reports and actually a special issue of the Monocle magazine. Monocle, of course, is a luxury hospitality. That was their focus, and in this issue, and they, for example, drew up a picture of their perfect optimal hotel experience. So we used this academic research together with this very commercial way of looking at tourism and hospitality in order to understand the concept and its various parts. And during our work, we got three big insights about farm tourism. The first one was about degrees of importance and control. So, most important for a tourist at a farm, or maybe in general, is actually the bedroom. And quite literally the bed. The quality of the bedroom and the experience in the bedroom is the very central part of staying in a hotel or like this on a farm. Then we have the apartment, which is also a very important sphere for the tourist, for the customer. And the farm is slightly less important, and the district even less. The interesting thing here, or uninteresting thing here, is that we also have most control of the bedroom, actually, and of the apartment. We have slightly less control over the farm because, well, there are animals, it's nature, and the district we can influence on the municipality level, on a political level, but not so much more. So that was an interesting insight, that what's most important is also what we have most control over. In general, one way of looking at happiness is to divide it into three parts, where the first one is belonging, the second one is to be self-sufficient, and the third one is to have confidence, to be self-confident. And this is sort of a generic model for happiness, which I found somewhere. And when it comes to belonging, we can enable that by creating real meetings between the person staying in the apartment and the hosts. Actual meetings, face to face, where the host and the guest actually connect. That's a way of creating that belonging, I think. Self-sufficiency can be created, for example, in this context by being able to choose what to do, when to check in, when to check out to some degree, how to furnish the apartment, and such. When it comes to self-confidence, we can enable that by making it easy for people to find information about the apartment and the farm on their own, in print or on the web. And we can also make things in the apartment behave and be just like at home. So, for example, furnishing the kitchen in sort of a standard way, whatever that happens to mean, could be a way of doing that. The third insight that we got from this work was the value of conflicts. And in this case, I'm talking about how farm tourism is communicated. And we found in theoretical literature two distinct ways of talking about rural areas in general and about tourism there. And one is to talk about it as a static thing, where rural areas are just like in the olden days. The other perspective is to look at rural areas as very dynamic, where the rural areas are becoming more and more urbanized and more things are happening there. So the static and the dynamic. And I then put that into to a model where I looked at these same areas that we can control to some degree, the district, the farm, the family, and the self. And when it comes to these two, we can pit the various areas here against each other and create these valuable conflicts. For example, on the farm level, we have the idealist farming and the small-scale farm versus farm development, tourism creeping into the to the farming environment, and farm shops and such. So we can pit farm shops and development against this idealized farmer and their use that conflict in our communication. So we used these insights about degrees of importance and control, about happiness, how to create that, and about valuable conflicts in our communication platform and in our content. And we also used it for the apartment in itself. So, for example, the very big importance of cleanliness and quality in the bedroom, actually starting with the bed, was something that we gained from this method or from this work. So, if you want to see more of the beautiful Smultronboda farmstead, go to smultronboda.se, and you're welcome to book a stay as well. Ciao.